All right, so it looks like Shedeur Sanders took the podium and addressed his play in this preseason game. It looks like he'll still be getting the start.
What happens when a highly scrutinized young quarterback throws an interception during his preseason debut? But instead of panicking and making excuses, he steps up to the podium and delivers an absolute masterclass in elite mental processing. We are currently witnessing an incredible shift in the Cleveland Browns locker room. While the local media desperately waits for any sign of weakness or frustration from Shedeur Sanders, the young signal caller just proved that his psychological approach to the game of
We got to get into what Shedeur Sanders had to say, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. Let's get right into it.
Back out there after the offseason, putting some of the work you've done.
Yeah, it was fun.
football is operating at a terrifyingly high level. He didn't just answer the media's questions. He actively walked them through the highly complex, neurological process of playing quarterback in the National Football League. You are locked into NFL Zone Talks, the absolute, undisputed authority on the raw, unvarnished truth behind the biggest positional battles and locker room dynamics shaping the league. Make sure you absolutely smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and let's dive directly into the incredibly revealing press conference that proves Shedeur Sanders is officially ready for the massive stage. To truly understand the massive mental leap Sanders has taken, you have to look directly at how he analyzes his own successes. Right out of the gate, reporters tried to bait him into celebrating a pair of massive, explosive completions to receivers Gage Larvadain and Luke Floria. Most young quarterbacks would immediately start hyping themselves up, desperate for the highlight reel validation. Sanders completely rejected the premise. He stared directly at the press corps and delivered a highly advanced, incredibly mature response. I don't get excited about the big plays anymore. It's playing chess. He explicitly explained that hitting a wide-open receiver isn't something to celebrate.
We want to execute, so we don't want to make that a habit, but, it may happen. Yeah. Overall, we both felt the same thing. The ball was a little sandy. So that was just a moment just to laugh at, between us, honestly, because it was the right decision. I talked to him when he got to the sideline. I said, "Hey, what happened, bit?"
It is simply executing the correct counter move to the defense's alignment. He expects to make those throws. He expects the offense to operate on the exact same wavelength. When your quarterback views the game as a highly calculated chess match rather than a highlight factory, you have a foundational leader. But the absolute, undeniable test of...
So, I look at the positive of things, I'm alive, I'm breathing. I'm able to come up here and talk to y'all, so, I can't be that down.
Todd said the same thing. He said he thought you and Dylan on the interception coach had the right read, just for some reason, like the execution was a little off. It sounds like is that pretty encouraging for you at the second?
A quarterback's mental toughness comes directly after a massive failure. When asked about his highly publicized interception, Sanders didn't shrink from the moment. He openly and honestly admitted that the mechanical execution failed because the football was incredibly sandy and simply slipped out of his hand. But the physical mistake isn't what matters. It is his core philosophy regarding the error. Sanders explicitly stated that while the physical throw was bad, the actual neurological...
I was so excited.
How did it feel to start off with two big passes to Gage and to Luke and just to kind of get rolling right away?
I mean, I don't really get excited. I don't get excited about the big plays and that stuff no more because it's like, it's playing chess. It's like, if you do this, we're going to do that, so it's just the right move in the right time. It was the right play call in the right time. And
decision-making process was 100% correct. He made the right read, his eyes were in the correct place, and his feet were properly aligned. He grades himself entirely on his mental processing. He understands that mechanical flukes will happen in professional football, but as long as his brain is actively solving the defensive puzzle, he refuses to lose his confidence. And that exact same, highly analytical perspective was immediately validated by the man calling the plays. Offensive coordinator Todd Monken stepped up to the podium and completely backed up his...
We're a unit, and I'm excited about that because I know that helps us all think the same. And we was able to execute a lot of the things.
His young quarterback's assessment. Monken explicitly told the media that both he and Sanders recognized that the read was absolutely perfect, but the physical execution simply failed. This is a massive, incredibly vital development for the Cleveland Browns. You have a young quarterback and a veteran offensive architect who are actively seeing the game through the exact same lens. When the play caller and the signal caller can look at an interception, completely agree on why it happened, and laugh it off on the sideline because they know the process is sound, you have an unbreakable foundation of trust. This profound level of comfortability directly stems from the intense, highly aggressive environment the coaching staff has cultivated during training camp. When reporters asked Sanders if he was
more like real, and even having some experience in the reps and the experience of last year helps me in the film study, being able to look at the film and watch everything to make the mind go a little faster. It's like you could think something, but then after you think something, you got to do it. So it's just about how much.
To finally get some live bullets flying around him in a real game, he offered a brilliant reality check. He explicitly stated that the bullets are always flying in practice. Going up against the elite, highly physical Cleveland Browns starting defense every single day has completely rewired his internal clock. He noted that
I was super excited about the play call and everything, and that we executed it, and all of our players was thinking the same thing at the same time.
How do you think things went just from an operational standpoint, the huddle, talking with Coach Monken, things like that?
I was early on, I would say.
The actual game environment felt slightly slower and more communicative than the absolute chaos of practice. He is utilizing intense film study and the massive pressure of training camp to accelerate his mental processing, ensuring that the actual preseason games feel like nothing more than a glorified walkthrough. But the absolute most revealing, definitively mature moment of the entire press conference arrived when Sanders was asked to
decision, but the right decision was made. So every day I look and I see about decision making, like how's my decisions I'm making, and
identify his absolute best throw of the day. He completely ignored the flashy, explosive passes down the sideline. Instead, he pointed to a simple, highly calculated checkdown to the running back in the red zone. Why? Because that specific throw proved that he completely understood the down and distance, recognized the zone coverage, and refused to force a catastrophic turnover in a high-leverage situation. He explicitly praised his offensive linemen for communicating the down and distance before the snap, highlighting the entire operation as a massive, unified team effort. When your young quarterback is actively praising his offensive line for situational awareness and valuing a...
That's when it's a team. It's not even just me. It's the O-line. It's everybody in the back. Everybody plays their part. When it's one of the tackles saying down the distance while I'm reading the play call, and it's all
safe check down over a risky touchdown pass. You have a player who completely understands how to win professional football games. We are officially witnessing a young quarterback who has completely insulated himself from the toxic noise and the massive external expectations. The Cleveland media desperately wanted to construct a narrative of panic following the interception, but Shedeur Sanders completely starved them of oxygen.
Differently, so that's what I was excited about, and being able to get those different point of views from everybody in the quarterback room that has experience. It was great.
What did you see on the internet?
He is operating with a singular, violent focus on absorbing the playbook, building an unbreakable bond with his teammates, and mastering the mental chess match of the NFL. The table is officially set. The Cleveland Browns are heading to Buffalo for a highly anticipated, incredibly physical week of joint practices, and head coach...
Oh, I said, hey, what happened? They're like, bro, the ball's Sandy. I said, bro, I know the ball's Sandy. So it was just a good moment to just talk about it and laugh about after it's over. But the decision making and being able to execute what's out there was the best.
Todd Monken has officially confirmed that Sanders will split the first-team reps with Deshaun Watson. The evaluation period is about to hit maximum overdrive. I want to hear your absolute raw, unfiltered thoughts down in the comments below. Does Shedeur Sanders possess the exact type of mental maturity required to take over this franchise in Week 1? Drop your absolute best, most aggressive takes below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep your notifications on, and I will see you all in the very next breakdown.